Why aren't people talking about this? Ignored news stories. People need to hear this. Why don't they report things that matter? With all that's happening, no one says a thing about it. Ignored news with BP.
Back at it once again, party people. BP crew, that is. I'm Jake. Today we will be doing another episode of Ignored News with BP. I got a different one for you today. I call it Alzheimer's and the FDA. Aducanumab, also known as Aduhelm, is the first new drug approved in 18 years by the FDA to treat Alzheimer's. It's an antibody treatment that targets and clears amyloids within the brain. Over the last decade, many such treatments have been tested and have not returned numbers to normal. In March of 2019, Biogen initially halted the trial because the drug didn't work. With help from the FDA, they recounted the data, later claimed it's effective for clinical outcomes, which means I want to say it has a greater effect than a placebo in a blind trial. In this was kind of strange because it's basically like you move the point over one and it goes from not effective to possibly effective, which then opens the door for this kind of treatment. In 2020, the FDA advisory panel was skeptical, recommended not to approve the drug overwhelmingly for sale. The FDA approved it anyway, causing 3 of its panel members to resign. The FDA used Accelerated Approval Program, or an AAP, to get this drug to market even quicker. The FDA requires follow-up, but those numbers won't be released till 2029 or 2030. Here's where we start getting into the real meat of this problem. While initially all of the tests proved inconclusive or no noticeable outcome, when they were able to then move that point, instead of a 0.01 to a 0.1, all of a sudden it becomes viable. You say, well, why would they do that? Well, they haven't had a new drug for 18 years, but the real reason they did it was it cost $56,000 a year plus the administering costs. But here is what really trips me up about the whole thing. Not only is it the false hope and blah, 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 but the potential side effects are wide and many. And there's this thing, it's called contraindication.
Contraindication.
And it can exclude people from future drugs. So let me just stop right here and explain this for a second. This term means that if they take this drug and then it's proven ineffective, and then later a new drug comes out that is effective, just having taken this drug may disqualify them from taking the new drug in the future because of potential side effects or damage caused by the drug. The term contraindication is anything, including a symptom or medical condition that is a reason for a person not to receive a particular treatment or procedure because it may be harmful. So again, if they take this drug which has been proven to be ineffective, it could potentially limit them from taking new drugs in the future that could potentially treat Alzheimer's. All that being said, it's already been discontinued. There's in 2024, 2025, they were winding it down. Discontinued Biogen, 2024, 2025. Shareholder class action lawsuit and congressional problems, which were multiple, following the controversial accelerated AAP of the FDA approval and subsequent commercial failure. I find it incredibly funny, and I mean this in the most ironic laugh or cry kind of situation, that this drug, which was proven to not work by their own trials, gets some crooked FDA approval. Obviously 2019. We don't need to say whose FDA was in charge at the time, because everybody knows exactly how a story like this goes. Why would they do it? Because so many people are so hopeful for a cure that they will do or pay anything just to not lose their loved ones. They take advantage of this with their $55,000 price tag plus administration fees, which brings it up to like 60 grand a year for no noticeable side effects, no measurable effects of the drug, just so that when a new drug comes out that may be effective, you will be disqualified for having the money to try to save your family member. This is everything wrong with our system today. So again, just something to think on. Talk about it with your friends. Look it up. Tell me this ain't right. And you guys have a wonderful night.